Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter. And today I'm here with, well, I must be honest with you, I'm working on my altered book and I just need a break from it. There's a lot of work to do before I go to the next stage with that many pages to decorate up. So I thought I'd take a break and prepare for something I'm doing closer to Halloween. I need to make two backgrounds for a future project, and I thought, I'm going to take you along with me. It's just going to be making some backgrounds, and these backgrounds you will see probably in about a month's time. I'm going to be using paints, and I had to get some specific paints today, so I went out to my local art shop and they had a sale on, thank goodness. I was like, thank you for that. So I'm working with deep violet, cadmium yellow deep hue, I'm working with light olive green. Now, funnily enough, these are almost the colour combo for this month. I wanted something that's almost raspberry, so I've pulled out magenta, and then obviously I've got black and white as well, and a few other things that will go along. But because I'm not constrained by any particular colour or combination, I can go in whichever direction my gut feels. I just need to make some backgrounds, is what I'm saying. So I'm using 250 GSM white cardstock, and that's what I'm going to build upon. So I just need to get some stuff down, to be honest. Right, I'm liking the idea of just getting a little bit of yellow in the background. Now, both these backgrounds do not have to look the same. In fact, I'd rather they didn't look the same, but I want them to use the same paints and the same colours so that the project I'm going to do, and I'm being evasive about the project because I'm not quite sure whether I want to do tags, whether I want to do journal cards, whether I want to do a cover, whether I want to do greetings card fronts. I'm not sure what it is I want to do yet. I know I've got the idea of what I want, I just haven't decided how that's going to manifest itself. I think that's pretty much that one started. And obviously, I'm just going to actually see if I brayer a little bit more of that out. As I said, I don't mind if one is slightly different than the other, as long as I'm dealing with the same colours, we'll be okay. And it's not going to be the only layer of paint on these, so we're just building. I will also probably end up making a cleanup sheet as I go along. See, that's interesting. Make a cleanup sheet as I go along, and I normally do that either on tissue or I do it on newsprint cut-off paper, which is this stuff. It's really inexpensive. I use it a lot, and I use it to do backgrounds in my art journal very often. Right, so I've got that down. I want to bring in a little bit of white with a bit of that olive green, and this idea actually has come to me from working on the color combo a couple of days ago, because I found that squeeze of that. It's the very, very end of this. This will be down for having a good old squeeze out in a minute. Well, not a squeeze out, it'll have a scrape out. And in the colour combo, I mixed olive green, not this one, but olive green with white. And I really liked the colour it gave me. Now, basically, I'm looking towards something that's, how do I say this? I'm looking towards the Halloween season. So I'm looking at something that might be sort of Mardi Gras in colour, or, as I said, Halloween, just something a little bit funky, a little bit bright, even erring towards a little garish, probably. I'm unsure at the moment. I'm letting things sort of manifest themselves in my mind at the moment. That's lovely. I've got far too much paint here, but that's okay. You know me, layers, layers, layers. That's the first bit. And it's funny because I nearly did a video today where I was going to make some wrapping paper, because I'm off to see a friend tomorrow and I bought her a gift, and I don't have any wrapping paper, and I so nearly thought, I'm just going to make some painty wrapping paper and do that as my project for today. But I kind of talked myself out of it because, to be honest with you, I can get wrapping paper. I can't get these backgrounds. So let's just put this on here and have a bit of a clean up with this paper. Now this, I cut this paper to 15 by 15, which is obviously bigger than my 12 by 12 plate, but I do that because having a piece of paper 15 by 15 usually means when I try and create a background page in my art journal, if I'm collaging or just gluing this down, I've got pretty much the right amount of paper to do two A4 spreads, two A4 pages, which will then complete one spread. And if I don't use it for that, I always love using stuff like this anyway. But you never know at the end of this. I mean, I think I might even be able to, this might be big enough to actually wrap the present in anyway if I chose to do that. Let's just put that to one side. So we've got that. I think I want to put the magenta in next. You'll note, I'm actually going to do that on here. You'll note as I go further and further into the process, I use less and less surface of my gel plate. And that's on purpose because I'm adding, God, that paint smells peculiar. I'm adding elements. I'm just literally touching it down to put pieces into it. See, that's what I'm looking for. I don't want hard, fast blocks of colour. Let's pick some of this up. That's it, that's what I'm looking for. Do you see what I mean? I don't think the word grungy is the right word when you're using these colours. But you get where I'm coming from with this. Right, let's put some of this down again, get this on the paper. So I'm not sure what to tell you really, it's just, I've got a lot of very big projects starting off currently. Quite a few that you're not aware of. And as you heard me say in the beginning, I'm still working on the altered book. I've probably got about 12 more backgrounds to finish off before I can get to the point where I start work on doing the cover. And I think I've come to a decision on the cover. Oh, by the way, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, I'll put the link to the first video of that in the description box below. There's already 4 videos in that series, and there's probably going to end up as 6 videos in that series. So the first one will be below. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yes, I'm really much considering doing a painted cover. But don't hold me to that because I could be lying to you. I try not to do that too often. Right, I'm going to take a little bit of white here. And I don't want much of this at all. Now what I'm looking to do is where the areas cover over, I just want to add bits into it. Just not blending, not trying to mask anything, just taking bits. I'm almost looking for almost like that fog or smoke in the background look. And here's the next one. And then I think I'm going to have to come back to the yellow because the yellow needs to be in here a little more than I have it at the present. Like that one definitely needs a little something. Let's take that off there. So yeah, what was I saying? So lots of different projects starting. You seem to be liking a series of videos from me as well as what I normally do, and thank you. I sort of look at my analytics and it steers me in that direction, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. If that's what you want, I'm more than happy to. I mix things up. I mean, you'll have noted in August, I don't think I did and ask Ceri 10 questions. I don't think I did a coffee with Ceri either. And a lot of that has to do with when I'm doing like the altered book project, it takes a lot of time. It also takes a lot of videos. So to be able to do a video series, I have to sacrifice certain videos. So, which is fine. I mean, they will be back. Don't worry that I'm not getting rid of anything. See, that's what I need. I just need a little more of that yellow in there. And this one just needs to go up a notch as far as the yellow goes. Oh, I think I went overboard on that one. We might have to put some more pink in a minute. So, so yeah, I've got, well, let's just say I've got a couple of big projects coming up and leave it at that. One of them is definitely going to be gel plate based, because I'm going to need quite a few painty papers for it. So that'll be one for my gel printing friends. I don't think I'll be doing another journal type video before the end of the year now, because I've done the altered book series. What else do you need to know? I think I need to make a little bit of a pale pink. That could just mellow this down a little bit. Just a little bit there. And I have reached out to another creator and said to them, would you like to do some sort of a challenge? So you might get another challenge, a one-on-one challenge from me and another creator by the end of the year. But the creator I've reached out to is as busy as I am, basically. So, but I'd like to bring them to your attention, to be honest, because I like the channel, I like what they do, I like their designs. So it's a case of watch this space. I think I'm almost where I want to be with these. Right. Okay. Just wipe that down there. Right. That actually doesn't look too bad. We'll see what that looks like by the end. That might end up, I think that might just be enough for me to use for wrapping paper. Okay, I think I want to add, okay, I'm going to use my Bed of Roses stencil. Can you see that? It's Bed of Roses stencils. If you want to see any of the foam stamps or products I'm using, by the way, if you click through to my website, there's a link below. You'll see Stencil Shop and Foam Stamp Shop. That will display all of the stencils and foam stamps that I personally have designed in image form. I don't sell anything on my website, and everything from PM Artist Studio is manufactured and shipped from Texas in the USA. So what you'll do is say you saw this and you wanted to look at this, find this image on mine, click on that image, it'll take you straight to the PM Artist Studio, where you'll see more details and purchasing options and all of that, which will save you going directly to PM Artist Studio and trying to search their website, because there are a lot of designs there, and this will speed up your purchasing journey should you choose to do that. Right, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking I want to put a little bit of pale purple into the background. So I'm kind of doing a 50-50 mix of, I should just get a palette knife on that, or else I'm going to get it blotchy. That's sort of what I was looking at. Now, one of the reasons I chose purple to work with this is because purple and yellow, that sort of color range, are complementary to each other. So right, I'm going to brayer over this to put the paint down onto the plate, and then I'm going to come in and pick up the painted roses after I've removed the stencil. This will enable me to get sort of a cleaner image than if I was to sponge or stamp straight onto the piece. Now, I don't mind that the roses won't be complete because I haven't put a lot of paint on here because I don't want it going all the way down and building up and going underneath. But as you can see, that will give me nice clean roses. And I think I'm going to come in and just lay down, so I just pick up patches of them. Just a little bit here and there. So just so it gives me some interest. It's my neighbour's chihuahua barking away in the background. It's not a great day today in that it's been raining and everything. Well, I'd like that to have been cleaner. We can come back in and do a bit more with that in a minute. I'd like it to have been a bit of a cleaner image, but that's fine. Again, I can deal with that. Yeah, it's a weird day today. It's been raining, it's warm, and it's humid, but it's odd because it also feels slightly cold. Just taking this off here. Building up. With things like doing backgrounds like this, it is very, very much trust the process all the time. And you've heard me say it 1,000 times, trust the process. I just always keep going until I get the result I want. You have to go through ugly. You've got to go through ugly to get to beautiful. Probably more than just art, to be honest with you. I think life in general, you have to go through ugly. So I'm here. I'm not overly keen on this area here. So what I'm going to do is what I say to you all the time is if you don't like something, go over it. So I'm going to come in, excuse me, frog in the throat, and I'm going to white over the top of that area and then re-establish the roses on here. And even though this one is the same, this one is good, I'm going to treat it in relatively the same way so that I can have some continuity between the both. Let's just get that off there. So now I need to come back in and do another mix of that purple, and it doesn't matter if it's slightly different shade, tone, hint, tint, sorry, not hint, whatever you wish to call it. It just needs to be, it's of the same family as the one before. And I know I don't need the whole stencil covered, so I put down enough for me to pick up some. I just need to be a little more attentive as to where I'm putting my paper. Right, gently lift it up. That's given me a clean look for the roses. Right, so this is the one that I didn't do well. So let's just pull up a bit of that, and that will re-establish what I wanted. Oh, apparently you're going there. There you go. That gives me enough. And then this one, I can just come in and put a little bit on the edges so that I'm not clashing with what I already have. I'd really like that bit there done. Okay, that's good. And we can benefit from picking this lot up with this. That's nice. I'm just going to put this back on the plate again and use up the spare paint here, but I'm not going to put it onto my backgrounds. I will just, have I got some paper somewhere? painty papers in here. I'm sure I've got, let's see what black looks like with it. Yeah, let's see what those two look like. Oh, actually, no, let's look at the gold. These are just book pages that I brayer off onto quite often. Let's lift that off. Let's lay that down over there. That down over there. Let's pull back in this sheet. And there's paint on here. Whether it's going to come off, I don't know. Hopefully it will not stick to my brayer, to my paper. Which it can do, can easily get stuck to paper. A little bit, but I can cover that up. Just while the paint is still wet, it's easier to lift any paper that I pulled off there. Right, that's that done. As I said, this is a cleanup, guys. This isn't meant to be any piece of art or anything whatsoever. This is just purely me cleaning up as I go, and I have to watch because I think the book pages are not going to be strong enough to be left down that long either. Right, that was good. Right, so I can take these off and fingers crossed they won't tear. There you go, that's one for my painty papers. And that's two for my painty papers, liking that. I could even go around those with a black marker or a purple marker and actually make them more defined. Okay, right, I need to pause for 2 seconds because I want to dry those papers. I want to clean this up and I want to get this into some water because I just want to give this a bit of a clean because as you can see, it's beginning to have the little apertures. Can you see it through my hat? It's probably easier to see it where I had it. The thinner areas are beginning to clog up with paint. So I'll be back in 2 seconds. And I'm back and everything's cleaned up. I feel better now. Okay, now I've also hit these with a hairdryer really quickly just to seal them off. Now, I've lost my green, so I'm going to put my green back in. There's a lot more to go on here. I know there's a lot more to go on here to get where I want them to be without putting the focal point on. The focal point will be what I create and do within the video that's going to be for this. Let's put that one up there. Put this one down here. I feel I want it in that direction. Now I'm going to use some foam stamps with my green. Oh gosh, what's this called? This might be called frayed weave. Or actually, no, I think this is called sketchy grid, sketchy circles. And I think this is bubble wrap style 3, I think. So those are the foam stamps I'm going to use at the moment. Remember, as I said, anything foam stamp or stencil design, either look at my website and it'll show you the individual ones, or there is always a link to PM Artist Studio in the description box as well. You can always go straight through to them that way and then search all of the other designers, which would be lovely for you to do. So I'm going to use some of the green, absolutely neat and unmixed. Now, I know I'm cutting these up. If I'm cutting them into tags, I'm likely to cut 1, 2, 3, 4 tags, and then there'll probably be a small journal card. If I'm cutting them into journal cards, I'm likely to cut it down the middle and cut this into 3, so I'll have 4 by 6s. Do you see what I mean? So I'm kind of in my mind's eye thinking of 3 separate areas, and this is a separate area. So from here on in, try to not look at this as an overall design. It's going to change. So let's see, I'm going to come in with my bubble wrap. I'm going to choose areas I'd rather it pop over the top of. I'm just going to do 2 on that one. And what I'm doing is I'm looking, that area there is a bit muddy. And by muddy, I mean it's a bit confusing. So I will just put something right over the top and it takes away that confusion to the eye. So this will now go into a bowl of water. Oh, no, actually, let's put that to one side and bring in our piece of paper because I've got more than enough paint here. Let's just put some on here, just in case I do decide I want to use this as arty wrapping paper, which I don't think I do, but you never know where it's going to end up, do you? Oh, I got some chihuahua on the way back home by the sounds of it. Okay, so next I'm going to come in with Sketchy Grid, which is absolutely one of my favorites and probably one I use more than most things. I think I'd quite like that in there. Again, a little bit of interest. I think down there could do with a bit. Am I in shot? I hope I'm in shot. Sometimes I get carried away, guys, and forget what I'm doing. So if I suddenly drop out of shot, please forgive me. It just happens to be the way I am. I get carried away with my creativity. I focus the camera on the center of this work surface, knowing that if I stay on the work surface, I'm pretty much okay to be anywhere. Right, and then I'm going to come in with these sketchy circles. Now, what you're probably noticing is I'm using things that, although they're green, they're subtle. They're in the background. They're not a main player in the field. So that's why I'm just being a little bit, putting it wherever I want, really. Because I know there's another layer of mark making. There may be another layer of putting maybe a lighter color on here or a darker color. Then I'm going to come in with the feature stamping. And by feature, I mean, there's a bold element I want on these. I think that's that. Oh, pick it up. Right, so let's just come on in here and put a bit of green on here. Probably going to end up totally brown at the end of this because these colors are all mixing together now. But every layer of paint makes this a more solid piece of paper to be working with. Now I'm undecided whether I want to put metallics on here. So right, I need to go and put these in a bowl of water, so I'll be back in a second. And I'm back. Right, now I want to, as I said, this is Halloween. I want to put something, it's not, I don't want cobwebs, but I want the suggestion of something that might make you think of cobwebs. So I've got a piece of card here, okay? It's only very thin. I mean, I'd probably say it's probably only about 1 millimeter thick, and I'm going to come in with the concentrated version of the paint, the violet. I'm just going to brayer that up and down. Just as you can see, I've got a strip of it. I'm going to come in, stick this in, and actually just press it down in any direction. I want that illusion of, I just want this illusion basically. I'm trying to find words to explain what is visually down here, guys. As I said, I don't want it to be spider webs because firstly, I don't have a spider web stamp. But I do want something that will be almost a little bit sinister. Right, I need to do the other one. Try not to stick them to each other. Another thing I'm going to do too is PM Artist Studio did their launch of products on the 1st of the month, as they normally do. And there was a foam stamp that when I do my order next month, I want to get to use with this project. And they have a flight of bats as a foam stamp. And I went, ooh, I want that. So not sure I'll use the whole flight. I might even cut it into individual bats so I can play with the placement of them. I'm liking what this looks like. Right, that's kind of where I was going. See, and that's just a piece of card, guys. That's nothing special. Just a piece of card. Let's see if I can find something light to put that on. I'm liking that. I need to remember that I might do that more often in a future project. Let's stick it on some orange. And this one is purple, so let's just make it more solid purple because I've got purple on here. This is how I end up with so many painty papers, guys, because I just keep building and building and building on them. I do use them though. You've seen me using them in the altered book. I do them in art pieces. I enjoy using them. Let's just put that on there. I don't mind if there's a square shape there, or rectangle should I call it. So, right, I think I want to add a little bit of, well, it is becoming interesting. I think I want to add a little bit of white on here, or at least a light colour. Naples yellow, how yellow is Naples yellow? Actually, if I added that with a little bit of white, I think I would use that. That's interesting. I wonder if I get another one of those off there. Right, so if I do that with a little bit of white, how do I want to add it on? Now, I know I normally print with paper. I don't really want to obliterate patches or swathes of this. What have I got mark making wise? Yeah, you got it. I'm going to go with the tried and trusted bit of non-slip mat for drawers. I like that. Note to self, remember that one. Right, I'm going to have to clean that off, unfortunately. Now the question is, just a bit of a dry on, my paint will be sloppy. Do I want it in this colour or do I want it lighter? I kind of want it lighter. A little bit of that. It's a very pleasant colour, that. And a little dab of that. Only a little bit. I don't need a lot of that. Because I'm going to stamp onto this with black. This is one of my latest designs. It was only launched. It's called Tribal Style. Just one of the tribal styles. Let's put it that way because there's 7 of them and I can't remember them all. Yeah, I think that'll be enough in the background. Again, it's in the background because there will be a feature element on here once I do the project I have in mind. Wondering whether that's too subtle. Maybe not. I'm not sure it's doing exactly what I want it to do, but it's adding interest that I don't mind being there. It's difficult, as I said, guys, because we don't know, not we, I don't know what this is going to look like when I cut it up. And part of the reason of that is I haven't decided what I'm going to cut it up into. Right, I'm going to do that on the other one, but it didn't give me what I wanted. I think I need to think of something other than that. Maybe it is needing to put some white on here. It wasn't exactly what I was planning, so I went all quiet, didn't I? That kind of didn't ring the bell, let's put it that way. I need to give it a bit more thought. Let's give this a little bit of a run with to clean that off. I mean, interesting. I know it's interesting. I also know the moment I put the black on here, this is going to go wah. Did you like that? Wah. Okay, they're interesting, and I do like interesting. I can't think what color it is. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to pause the video because I need to look at this and think. There is something missing, and it's not black, because I know black is going to make it, oh, there you go, tribal style too. Black is going to make it really pop. But I need something else in here, so bear with me. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, guys, I've made a decision, and you're going to have to trust me on this one. I'm going to go with that color. Remember, I said I wanted it Halloween, but slightly Mardi Gras. I'm losing a bit of impact, and what I'm going to do is, this is a texture stamp. Now, I know it's not Darcy Sanders, because Darcy's got a different one. I want to say this might be Sapphire, or is it Rhonda even? This is I need to write names on the back, and I think, well, I didn't realize that the marker would actually stay when washed, and this has been washed twice. So I think I'm going to go through and write the names on the back of these, because as a fellow designer, I should actually know them, shouldn't I? And I'm terrible at it. So this is a mix pot of, what would you call this? It's sort of an ice blue or a very pale turquoise, or it just feels like the right color. Now, there isn't really an up and down. But I feel I want to work in this orientation. Right, I'm just going to come in and see, it gives you that beautiful pattern there. And I'm going to put this in areas, remembering this is going to be cut up again, guys. So one thing I am doing is I'm thinking verticals and horizontals, purely because I know I wouldn't cut this in the diagonal. I know I won't. That's just not, that's not in my nature to do that. And I still don't like that area there, so. Right, I think that's that fine. They're very busy, but I'm actually enjoying the busyness of them. Right, that definitely needs defining. And that, because it's an opaque color, will create contrast. This is going to be an interesting project, this one, I feel. As I said, I'd be cutting this up, which means I'll potentially be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. Probably 8 tags and 2 journal cards out of this. Whether I'll decorate all of them with you, goodness knows. Probably not. But you never know with me. You never know. Right, we keep avoiding the middle, don't you, Griffiths? Right, I think that's what that needed. I think all we've got to do now is the black, and we're done. But before I do that, let's just take this stamp and give this some interest. Because why not? Let's lift this up so I can get to the bottom edge. It's the only downside of having paper bigger than your largest plate is that you have to keep moving the paper around, but the advantage is I end up with a bigger piece of paper, which to me is very helpful. I think I'm going to actually just try and pick this up off here. Well, you can see this newsprint offcut paper, which is really soft paper, by the way. If you get this wet, it almost dissolves. It puts up with a lot of stuff, I can tell you. And I'm back. So this is where we're up to. And I am liking this. Now, when I cut this up, it is very likely that I'm going to do more to the individual pieces before I put on the focal point. Now, you've already heard me say I need to order the bat stamp, which is a lovely stamp for Halloween. So I know that each piece is likely to have bats on it, which will be obviously in black. So that will add more dynamic to it. Also, I have my own focal point, which I'm putting on there, which I'm not telling you what it is at the moment. So I think I just need to get on now. I'm going to stamp in black and I'm going to stamp this, but I do need to be quite strategic now. This is where I need to remember that no matter what I cut, this is probably going to get cut into 6 or 7 inches, and it's probably going to get cut into third. So I need to bear that in mind with placement so that I don't overdo it. And probably I will keep this in that orientation at the top and then maybe do 1 or 2 in this orientation on the bottom, because I'm likely to cut it up, as you've just heard me say. I have the sort of mind that is quite good. I'll be glad when this is finished. This feels almost like tar. It's really, really sticky. But back to the point. I'm one of these people that I can visualize things to the point of I know where things are going to be. I don't mind if this is perfect or not perfect, but would very much like it to be vertical. See, that's exactly what we're talking about. This bit up here has been annoying me all the way along. But if you're one of those people who is not able to do that, I would always say, just get yourself a piece of paper and roughly sketch out where you want things to be, or write yourself a list of what your aims are for the project. I do love this stamp. Right, now that will give me that. I'm going to put this down here because I don't truly know what is going to be what. I mean, I could cut those into 2 smaller tags. Right, off you come, you. Let's bring you in. Let's go this. Let's go this way on. And the reason for that choice was, if you look at this, on this one, this is all quite busy, and I've gone in this orientation because I'm thinking of cutting them that way. If I keep the busy stuff down here, then I've got a different style of stamp, a tag or journal card or whatever I create out of these at the top here. So I've gone quiet, guys, because I just really need to concentrate. I think I'm going to put one back there. It must be about there. Just trying to eyeball. Yeah, I need to spend some time and write down at least what the stamps are called. Is that enough? These almost look like chandeliers to me. I'm just going to put that one right up there at the top. Let's take that out of the way. And let's bring in what I'm calling the wrapping paper, which is obviously, well, it is whatever I turn it into, to be honest with you. And this can actually just, oh, I guess we're going on an angle then. Terrible at doing this. I think it's because my wrist doesn't naturally turn. Like I can't seem to do that with it, which is why you'll see me putting it down with both hands normally. But I think I can deal with this on an angle in this situation. I think that'll do. I'm not sure I'll use it for that, but it is what it is. And let's come in. Right, so we've got this here. Let's put a couple on here. And the reason I'm doing this pattern onto this colour is this, see, I've done it again. This colour is in what we're doing. So if I need some collage paper, maybe this would be the collage paper I reach for. So let's put a bit of black on here. Right, I need to get this stamp into water. I need to get this roller sorted out. Let me clear the decks and then we'll take a better look at it. And I'm back. Okay, I knew you would ask me, so here it is. What I did is, this was the cleanup sheet, and I came in with some gold paint, just put gold dots all over it, just to give it a bit more sparkle. And I think that's going to be my wrapping paper for my present. The person receiving this, I have known them for years and years and years, and they would probably expect nothing less than to have a bit of painty paper off me. So it's a nice way to use a cleanup sheet. Now, these are the two pieces that I've ended up creating, and I've given it a little bit of thought, and I think what I'm likely to do is, because this is a 12 by 12 obviously, if I cut 3 tags here which are 7 by 4 and do the same on this one, and then down here that would leave me enough to get 2 6 by 5 panels that I could use for card fronts, for greetings cards. So that's what I might do. But I'm glad I went with this paler ice blue, sort of pale turquoise colour. It just lifted it. Mind you, saying that, when they're cut into tags or card fronts, whatever, I am very likely to come in maybe with another colour or another pattern, put stuff on it. I may even come in with some white and push some of this into the background to make the feature on it even more of a feature. I do have plans to use one of my foam stamps to create the features. I've also, as I said, I'm going to order the bat stamp from PM Artist Studio because I want bats on here. But I think what I'm going to do now, I've got some digitals I've had from other designers over the years. So I've got digitals that I could actually use to put focal points on. But I think I'm going to reach out to my friend Darcy Sanders and see whether Darcy has anything in the pipeline that's going to be Halloweenish. Maybe some teddy bears dressed as vampires, or some murderous pumpkins, or Darcy has a weird and wonderful imagination sometimes, and I really like what she comes up with. But if not, I have stuff I can do. So guys, it's actually that time again. Yeah, it's that time. I'm Ceri the Crafter. That's Ceri the Crafter. Until next time. Goodbye now.